It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and let's have a look at what's going on now in Sunraysia netball. And got a feeling that whilst it's good for these girls to be back on the court, there were a few that might have been thinking that perhaps that wasn't going to happen. Caitlin Vine joins us, the head Kanga, to go through what's happening with the Owen United Kangas girls. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I can't believe we're here and it's happening.
Yeah, well, it wasn't looking promising sort of, say 10 days ago when we're in the middle of that lockdown and nobody knew how long it was going to last for. But it looks as though we're back and hopefully can get through the next couple of weeks and some finals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Fingers crossed. It's been a wild ride going back into training, then getting locked down and then coming out of lockdown and starting training again. So fingers crossed that we can get through this weekend and get a game under our belts and then finish off the season strong, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. It's been a while for your girls since they played. Other parts of Victoria sort of went back that early week in between the two lockdowns, but you guys held off to try and get it all right. And then, of course, bang, in come another lockdown. So I think the last game for Sunraysia netball was back on the 10th of July, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a long time since we last played. I think that last game was Wentworth, which seemed like forever ago. So the girls have sort of been very stop-start and it was difficult getting back into training and finding our feet again. So hopefully we've still got it enough to crack on for the season and hopefully we can get it done.
Fingers crossed. We've had enough time to dwell on that 3-goal defeat. We won't dwell on it anymore. What we will do is talk about what is to come for your guys and for your crew. So what you've got this week is what would have been round 7 of matches, I believe. So you're taking on Irimple at Irimple, is that right?
Yeah, so first time we'll meet Irimple, which will be very exciting. We're going to head up to play at Irimple, obviously with no crowds, no spectators, which will be very different for us and for the footy, but it is what it is. We're just looking forward to getting on the court, really.
So how does that work? I mean, particularly with the juniors, parents, what do they? They have to drop the kids off, sit in the car outside the stadium and then pick them up after that? Or how does that all work?
Yeah, so with the juniors, they can have a parent or guardian supervising them.
Right.
And those parents just can't gather in groups more than 10, so just keeping social distance. Then once their child has finished their game, they have to leave. It's really difficult with our volunteers. Obviously, there might be people who umpire the first game of the day and play the last game of the day. And I'm under the impression that they can stick around till then as long as they're sort of doing their job, but just minimising the amount of people we have there as much as possible and just getting it done. So it's going to be very different. I think everyone will be, trying to do their best to follow all the rules. It's always hard to keep up with them all. But we're lucky we've got a great support in Irimple who are obviously doing this for the first time as well. So we're all just in it together and we'll just do it the best we can.
So Owen United got some important games through some other grades as well. Bearing in mind now there's only 2 games left. So the B grade, the C grade, they've got to make every post a winner from this point on. Yeah,
so it's been a really sort of complicated few weeks. The SFNL have awarded points for everyone who had the buys, as some teams only had 1 buy and others had 2. So that's evened up the playing field a bit, but it's changed the ladders a little bit. So A grade are sitting quite comfortably for finals, but still really would like to beat Irimple and set their spot in second. B grade have got a lot of work to do. I think we're currently sitting in 6th place, but we're on equal points with a few people above us. So we'll have to, I believe, win both, and Irimple will have to lose both. C grade are in 3rd position, I believe, and they'll need to again solidify that spot. They'll have to win, and I believe C-Res will have to win both and rely on someone else to lose. So it's very, very tight in all of the senior grades. I think the junior grades is probably similar at the top, unfortunately not for us girls, but it's going to be very tight, and 2 rounds to sort of get everything sorted and get it together to get into finals is going to be really interesting. It's kind of exciting. It really brings everything together, and it's quick, and you've got to really work hard to get that spot. So it'll be good.
It's a sprint to the finish, basically. So
yeah.
This week, as you mentioned, Irimple, your girls have got a good record against Irimple of recent times. You should go in fairly confident, surely.
Yeah, I think the girls are confident. Obviously, having a few weeks off everyone was a bit nervous, but trained really well. Great to have our leading coach, Kyra Nathan, back into the side after injury, so that's really exciting, and still lots of versatility in that A-grade side, and I think they'll come up against Dalrymple really well and get the win.
Look, there are some other pretty important games given the state of the ladder, and now that there's only 2 weeks left. Imperials versus Merbeen, big game for both of those clubs. Who wins that, do you think?
Imperials, I think.
Yeah.
I think they'll keep their heads up pretty high for that one.
Yeah. Mildura just have to win against Redcliffs and have to win strongly, so they will.
They will, absolutely.
And the game which will probably sound the death knell to South Mildura's season is this one against Wentworth at Mildura, but it's a tough ask when the undefeated side is waiting for you. They don't lose.
Absolutely. They're the toughest competitors. And with New South Wales restrictions, I believe that they've still been able to train for most of the time, unlike Victoria. So they might have a little advantage there.
Right.
Who knows? I'm not
Just
sure
what
they have actually been doing, but yeah, just a little bit more of a win over everyone else. But no, I think Wentworth will do really well and come into finals undefeated.
Yep.
Which is always nerve-wracking.
Well, as it turns out, with those adjustments to the ladder, as you pointed out before, South Mildura can't make it anyway. So they're playing for pride at the moment, South, which is unusual this time of the season for them.
Yes, it's definitely a different team this year, but really positive for them. They've brought up lots of young girls and, give them a couple of years and they'll be straight back to the top. I think it's just a bit of a process, but yeah, wait and see what happens.
Well, good luck to yourself and the United Kangas throughout the grades this weekend as you take on Irimple. Anything else to mention before we wrap up?
No, just looking forward to getting a weekend under our belts. Can't wait to chat next week.